Good morning, ladies. My name is Lydia. I'm the office administrator here at EI, and welcome to this week's Wednesday in the Word. Today, I want to share some thoughts on contentment, and especially contentment while being single. Contentment is not just something that passively happens to a believer. It's a mindset, and it's a choice when circumstances aren't going the way that I want them to. God has promised to be my security, my satisfaction, and my sufficiency, and I have to choose to see Him as that in my day-to-day personal life. The world tells us that to feel secure, you need to have a certain amount of money in your bank account, or to feel happy or satisfied, you need to have a certain job or certain relationship status. But as Christians, we aren't to conform to what the world pursues and what the world says to pursue. No one teaches a child how to want that want more feeling. If you've spent time in a nursery or have younger siblings, you've watched a child go from happily and contentedly playing with a toy to running across the room because all of a sudden his car is the wrong color or the wrong size because somebody else was playing with a bigger toy. No one teaches children that. It's our natural bent. It's our sin nature wants more. But turn to Romans 12:2 with me. Here it says, "Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Not conforming any longer to the pattern of this world doesn't take place except through the renewing of your mind, through His Word and praying, learning to see the world from His point of view and us from His point of reference too. His words bring life. Turn next to Philippians 4:11. There the Apostle Paul says, "I have learned to be content." Learned. The word learn there in the Strong's Concordance means to be in the habit of, to learn by use and by practice. If you don't learn to be content now, if you think that you'll just be satisfied if this happens or that happens, whether it's a relationship or a different job or just getting through this homework or this school semester, you'll move through life always looking for that next thing, and you'll miss the blessings along the way. I think that we as girls struggle in the area of singleness, being content in singleness, maybe a little bit more than the guys do, because from the time that we can play dress up, we play bride, we plan our storybook wedding, we play mommy, and when a relationship doesn't happen when we think it should, or all of our friends have boyfriends but us, it's easy to believe that age-old lie of the devil that God is withholding from us, or is God really wanting our good? We sometimes forget that singleness and marriage are both gifts from God. Emphasis is put on what a Christian wife looks like or what a Christian mother looks like. And to not have those things, it's easy to compare the two and then say, oh, well, if you don't have that, then you're a second-rate Christian, and that's not true. I appreciate the authoress, Elizabeth Elliot, and would highly recommend any of her books. She says this about singleness. "Having now spent more than 41 years single, I have learned that it is indeed a gift, not one I would choose, not one many women would choose. But we don't choose the gift, remember? We are given them by a divine giver who knows the end from the beginning and wants above all else to give us the gift of Himself." And that's from her book, Let Me Be a Woman. A gift is given with that specific person in mind and at the right time for that person. I have 2 little nieces who are about to turn 2, and I may want to give them a bicycle for their next birthday, but that's not appropriate for them at this time in their lives. God is our perfect Heavenly Father, and His time schedules are always perfect. He's never too late, and He's never too early. It's taken me several years to be able to honestly say that I can see my singleness as a gift and learn to be content in it. I think even one year I counted, I had 20 friends, coworkers, that all got married the same year. And so all around me, every time I opened Facebook, there was a new relationship update or a wedding picture. And so I struggled with that, with being single when I didn't have a boyfriend and all my friends were in this happy state in their life. I believed the lies that God was withholding blessing from me because I was still single. And I would at times even question God's love for me. God has patiently been teaching me to change that mindset on singleness and to view it as a gift that He has specifically and purposefully chosen for me at this time. And He's allowed me to see unique opportunities that I've been able to have and things that I've been able to do because I've been single. I wanted to share a few ideas and general things to do while you're single, while you're waiting. This is not an exhaustive list. These are some things I've seen in my own life, and then these are some things that I've read too. The biggest thing, no pity parties are allowed. Don't go around wearing black and moaning over the fact that you're not in a relationship. That's not being satisfied or content. Spend those times that you're not going out on dates. Spend it investing in your younger siblings or your younger cousins if they live close. I think it means a lot to our younger siblings when we as older siblings invest our times in their lives, whether that means playing a game that you don't like or you feel is very childish and below you. You won't regret that time that you spend investing in others, whether it's younger siblings or other singles in your life. If you're older and you own your own house or have an apartment, invite other singles over. Be that encouragement to others. I would say though, be careful that you don't drown out this extra time of aloneness. It's easy to fill up your schedule with other activities, and maybe the Lord's giving you this time of singleness to have extra time at night to read an extra chapter in your quiet time, or have extra prayer time. And so don't be quick to fill it up with extra activities. Be mindful of that. I would also say be careful what you watch or read. There are certain times, and I know myself, there are certain times that I'm a little more vulnerable to that sob story, that romantic comedy or love story. And during those times, I do try to avoid them, just because I know that when that story or movie ends, I'm going to leave feeling discontent because I can't have the lifestyle that story portrays. So I just know to be careful during those times and be mindful about what I'm watching. Going back to Philippians 4, in verse 13, 12 and 13, Paul says, I have learned the secret of being content. And then verse 13, he says, I can do everything through Him who gives me strength. It's Christ in you that gives you that contentment. It's me coming to the one who is my shepherd, who has promised that because He's my shepherd, I shall not want. It's me coming to Him and saying, Lord, I feel like I want, fill in the blank. If this is of you, help me to enjoy this gift. If you're in a relationship, enjoy it. It's God's gift to you at this time. And if it's not of you, then help me see the gift that you're giving and not giving it to me at this time. A contented heart is a grateful heart. It doesn't dwell on what it doesn't have because it's grateful and thankful for what it does have. It's a choice to trust the giver. Ruth Myers, in her book, 31 Days to a Satisfied Heart, says, and I close with this, the secret of a satisfied heart is not the pursuit of satisfaction or happiness. Satisfaction and happiness are byproducts of the pursuit of God.